What does it take to be an artist? I bet it's easier than you think. You probably have everything you need on you right now. Let's see. There's 3 things. First, we need a head for thinking and getting creative. Check. A heart for showing all those feelings we have inside. Yep, I got that too. And our hands for making our marks and putting things together. If you have all 3 things, you are an artist. Congratulations. However, that last one is actually debatable, as there are some artists who are known to have used their feet or even their nose, like this artist named Vishek K. Check it out. Alright, so you have everything you need to be an artist, and it's time to sit down to make some art. But wait, where do we begin? Do you ever feel overwhelmed when getting started? Me too. There are a few necessary concepts that will help our art look more interesting and give us some ideas to get started. They're called the elements of art. There are 7, and you might know some of them already. There's line, shape, color, value, space, texture, and form. Let's focus on line this time. Lines are how most works of art are started. That's right. Famous artists like Da Vinci started with a single line to make the Mona Lisa, and Vincent van Gogh probably started with a line to make the Starry Night. But how would you describe a line? My favorite way to describe a line actually comes from one of my favorite artists. His name is Paul Klee. Paul Klee grew up in Switzerland in the late 1800s. He was very good at the violin. So good, he played in professional concerts and everyone thought he would be a famous musician. However, as he grew, he started to teach himself to draw as well. He sketched out pictures of his surroundings all over his sketchbook and homework. He noticed all the lines he saw in the countryside, the curves of the river, the tops of mountains, the veins of leaves, and he fell in love with how he could decide where his lines would take him in his art. Here's a sketch he made when he was only 12 years old using line. Paul Klee said, "A line is a dot that went for a walk." Whether they are painting or drawing, artists place their pencil down to the paper or canvas and make a dot. Then they guide that dot where they want it to go. It could be straight, wavy, long, short, scratchy, wiggly, scribbly, thick or thin. Where would you take your dot in your next work of art? In Paul Klee's art, the lines are interesting all on their own. Take this work here. What do you see in all these lines? If you said a tightrope walker, you would be right. He made this one in 1923. Lines can even be connected to make shapes, like in this other work of art by Paul Klee called Castle and Moon. I love this one. Paul Klee is known for his art being playful and fun and childlike, like you. And he also used supplies that you probably use already, like chalk, watercolors, and pencils. His colors, shapes, and lines make you feel like you're in a fantasy land. Can you imagine a fancy artist trying to make their art look like it was made by a kid? That proves that art is not always better when it's made by adults. With lines, you as the artist get to decide where you will go. Each line has its own personality. Here's some more of his art. What kind of lines do you see? Here's one called Senecio. Paul Klee used a lot of different shapes and lines in this one to make an interesting rendition of an old man that he knew. This one is called Fish Magic from 1925. And it's a super fun underwater scene with lots of different lines showing maybe fishing poles and even stems for flowers. This one's called Heroic Roses. There's lots of straight lines that end up going in a circle or in zigzag motions to show the roses. This one's called Angelus Novus and is made with lots of little lines that were made on wet paint. I see lots of horizontal and vertical and diagonal lines in this one called Blue Night. This one is super famous. It's one of my favorites too, called Red Balloon. This work of art called Insula Dulcamara has curved lines and wavy lines. It looks like there might even be a face in this one. Do you see it? Ooh, this looks familiar. I see a cat with large curved lines that make the eyes and winding lines to make the bird on his head and the whiskers on his face. Look closely at the cat's nose. That looks like the shape of a heart to me. How about one really wavy, curly line that creates lots of different shapes, like this one called Brother and Sister from 1921. Now that we've gotten the hang of how important lines are in our art, let's get to work making art with as many different types and personalities of lines as we can. Ready? Let's go. I'll see you next time. Love, your cozy art teacher.